Let's talk about this recent study.
Okay.
It's pretty funny stuff here, or pretty interesting at least. It found that people tend to be their happiest at the ages of 16 years old, and then it comes back around when you hit 70 years old. Those are your two happiest ages in your life, according to the report. What contributes to happiness dips between your 20s through your 50s, which is when you have the most anxiety and stress. But if you think 16 is distant memory, don't worry. That happiness, like I said, it'll peak again at 70. Are you guys surprised by this study? Do you agree with this study?
It's like 4 decades of unhappiness.
Yeah, that's a lot of time
Yeah.
in between when you're waiting.
It's the beginning and what could be termed as starting toward gear towards the end.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying the in-between is just a rat race, figure it out. It's all anxiety
I
and stress.
know. I
Good
don't
luck.
like that. I feel like, what does this indicate about our society? I mean, I think that's great because 16, hopefully you don't have too many cares in the world, just, focusing on school and friends. And then 70, you're probably getting closer and the idea of your mortality gets more in your mind and more in your head. So you're like, let me live it up. But I just feel like this indicates so much wrong with our society.
Yeah, when 16 was a little bit surprising to me, just because I feel like, yes, you're so right, it's the beginning, right? You're excited, there are like so many possibilities. But I felt when I was 16, I was just like a raging hormone monster.
Yeah, for sure.
Like everything was
didn't
just
know.
like, yeah, or like I just remember like even like the sound of my mom's voice and my poor mom, I was just like, oh, like everything was irritating. I wouldn't call that so happy. I was a terrible person.
Yeah, right. I think what I took away from the report was, between 16 and 70, it's all stress. And to me, I think that's where you got to find in life as I hover in my mid to late 30s is to understand that it's bigger than the job you have or chasing this or getting to retirement at the age you want to. Stop and smell the roses. I'm not trying to sit here on my soapbox and act like my life is perfect.
Yeah,
It's
get on
clearly,
that box.
but it's clearly not perfect. But I'm in my mid to late 30s, and I think this is the happiest time of my life because
Yeah.
I'm the most comfortable in my own skin. At 16, are you kidding me? I talk like this. I hadn't hit puberty
sure
yet.
it is.
And at 70, so much is gone. And look, there's still a lot left in life in
Right.
70. Don't get me wrong. You got a whole lot of life still left at that point. But I think in your 30s, you're discovering yourself. And isn't there something happy about
agree,
that?
yeah.
And in your 40s, you're even more confident.
Yeah, and there's something too, especially like female, like I just feel like there's this idea of like, I know who I am and I know what I want. I'm not like filtering it through other expectations of
liberating.
other people. There's like,
No.
this is me. This is who I am. It is liberating.
Don't
It's
get eaten up by
empowering.
the machine, I guess, is what I took from this. Is
don't
like,
be a sausage.
yeah, don't.
I regretted it instantly.
You just never know what's about to come out of her mouth.
You tell me she's not happy. She ain't 16. She ain't 70. This is happiness
Oh,
right
yeah,
here.
it's social anxiety. Get into it.
No, but I think I focus more on having fun and not so much into. I was very focused. Like in high school, I was just very focused on my schooling and where I'm going and what I'm doing next in life. So my whole thing, literally my whole life, has been enjoy now, focus on now, live in the present. That's been the main thing. I
Yeah,
try
because
to
if
live.
you spend those 30s and 40s and 50s worrying about getting to something, you're not enjoying what you go through. And as a former
Right.
athlete, one of my biggest regrets as a former athlete is during those years in college playing at the highest level for me, a really high level. I was so worried about what was going on and stressing in the moment of doing my best. And looking back, I'm like, man, I wish I enjoyed that more. You don't want to do that with your life.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I
yeah,
agree. Like
so-
no regrets. I feel that's great.